Hunters of the Brotherhood, welcome to the first of many Rise videos. I hope you guys have been enjoying the demo, and if you haven't tried it out yet, you've got a couple days, actually a couple weeks, so you've got time. I have been having a ton of fun with the Insect Glaive and Rise in general. Been trying a lot of stuff recently, so we're going to talk about the Insect Glaive today, and I wanted to give my impressions to you, at least my first impressions. Now this won't be a full tutorial because we're just kind of like running through the demo, and of course the full game is going to have a lot more features than the demo. So we're just going to kind of go over and see what I feel like and my impressions and thoughts and overall opinion. Overall, I will say that the Insect Glaive does feel a little bit more refined in a way. For those of you who played GU, it used to be very heavy and clunky, right? And the movement was rough and delayed. In in World, they went the opposite direction and made the glaive feel very light and agile, but there was still a delay because there was an emphasis on the animations of the Insect Glaive. They really tried to make it look cool, so they had these animations and all that stuff. I think in Rise, they've kind of found the sweet spot. There's a lot quicker animations, especially with the attacks. And there's a nice heavy feel on the weapon. It feels really heavy. It's nice. So it's a good blend. It's a good mix in my opinion. I'm not going to lie. Even if it was my main weapon, when I started out, Rise felt kind of weird. And I've talked to some of my friends and all, and they've also said that they felt kind of weird playing this game at the start. So it could be the Nintendo controller and having the buttons mixed up. So they're opposite if you use an Xbox controller. I don't know much about PlayStation users and their controllers. But anyway, after a little bit of time and a little bit of practice, you get used to it, and I think you're going to have a great time. Now, while the attacks and stuff are very refined, we'll talk about the silk moves in just a bit, but that's my negative part about this weapon. The silk moves, in my opinion, are a negative, and we'll get there in just a moment. So let's take a look at some of the basic attacks here. If you go to the Hunter notes, they will show you and outline all the basic stuff. Again, Rising Slash at the top, that's your light attacks. The Wide Sweep A is actually your heavy attacks. And then you've got the Kinsect, Harvest Extract, and Harvest Recall, or Kinsect Recall. And that's basically the same as it was in World, you know, if you just send out your Kinsect. So here I can just pull out my weapon. And you'll notice here that you have the reticle, just like in World. We didn't have that in GU, but in World we had it, so it does make a return in Rise. And there you go, you can just send out your Kinsect again, bring it back. You can also control where it's going, so you point your reticle, it'll start flying there. And then eventually you can just bring it back to you. So that's very similar to World. So let's take a look at page 2 here and see the next set of skills that are basically the same ones as well. They're all basic controls here. Kinsect Fire and the Kinsect Marked Target. Now both of these, if you remember in World, they would send your Kinsect out immediately to go and attack the monster. Now that does not seem to be happening here in the demo. And I'm not sure if it's a glitch or it's intended, but I think it's a bug. I think it's an actual bug that just does not send your Kinsect out. Your Kinsect literally does nothing. Even if you send your Kinsect out, it does nothing. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I might test it around and play around with it a little bit more, but it doesn't seem to be working. Like I tried a bunch of things and nothing would send. My Kinsect would just sit there. So that I think is a bug. If you're getting that issue as well, let me know in the comments below. If you've found a workaround, you know, let me know as well. Like maybe I'm just not doing the right thing. Yeah, just similar thing. You just shoot out the marker or just do a heavy hit and it marks. That's supposed to send your Kinsect out. The other stuff that we got here. Vault and all the mid-air stuff. So this is very similar. Same sort of controls. Vaulting up and down. Your X will just do your attack, which is your light attack. And then your A in mid-air is your helicopter move if you have the red buff. Otherwise it just does the advancing slash. And your B button will do your evade. So nice up and down vault. Very straightforward. Feels really nice though. I feel like we go a lot higher too. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I feel like I go really high. And again, this is without the white buff. So here's your X attack button. Just attack. Going up and down. It's really nice. I love how the dogs also join in. They join in whatever you do. Look at him. Look at him. So here's your advance or your evade, sorry. Mid-air evade. Nice and easy. Again, you move a lot far. You'll notice I don't have the white buff, but we are moving quite far. I felt like in World it took the white buff to really move these same distances, but now we're just like, we're flying. Maybe it's just my eyes as well. But yeah, and the advancing slash, if you have the red buff, it'll turn into your helicopter move. So we'll take a look at that when we go and find a monster. Alright, last page of the Hunter notes. This is where my disappointment with this weapon comes in. These silkbind attacks. At least for this stuff that they've given us so far in the demo, it seems very defensive, and I was really hoping for something a little bit more offensive. So the first one, the silkbind vault, that is supposed to be an attack. As you can see, it's the ZL plus X. Now, if you remember correctly, without your weapon, that actually does the jump wire bug that goes up in the air. So actually, with your weapon pulled out, it actually does the same thing. So here, I'll show you without the weapon, right? You do the X up, you just go up. If you take out the weapon, it does the same thing, but it adds an attack. Now that's kind of neat, except the attack happens up in the air. It doesn't happen at the end. It happens at the start. So as soon as you let go of the wire bug, you do an attack. Now that's kind of interesting to me, but when I tried it out in practice, there's not a lot of monsters that really are up that high. So you've really got to aim where you're using this. If you're underneath or like really close to a monster, you will hit them right before you, as soon as you let go of that wire bug. So it's got to be really timed well. I would recommend using it when you're close up. And we'll take a look at a monster and I'll show it to you. But it's a really neat thing that's like, seems like it has a very unique niche to it. And I'm not liking that because it doesn't seem very practical. The last one here, the recall insect. Now this one is supposed to work in a really interesting way. It's supposed to come back to you. So it's the ZL plus A. It's supposed to come back at any time that you call it while you evade. So you're recalling your insect while you evade the monster. Now I thought this was a really interesting wire bug move. And it's kind of nice because insect glaive, you know, you got to get your hands in. You got to get down and dirty. You're in the air a lot, doing a lot of attacks. So you might get hit. So being able to evade and then having your insect heal you is actually really nice and comfy. Good to have a built-in feature for it. So the recall insect will heal you a decent amount, which I'll show in the monster hunt part of the video. But there are some requirements, and the main one is that you need to be super close to the monster so the game registers that you're dodging away. I think this is a great move for emergency situations, or also to just avoid stopping the battle to heal. It gives you a significant amount of health, so if you end your combo and you notice you're hurt and the monster's prepping for an attack, that's the best time to just do the recall insect, dodge, heal, and then aerial combo back into the hunt. So I mean, overall, it's not the most amazing thing. It's not something to write home about. I think it'll be really useful to keep the flow of hunt. So insect glaive users will notice that they'll be able to, you know, get into the hunt, damage. If they get hurt, quickly dodge out and heal automatically. Like they'll just let your insect heal you, and you can use the other silk vault to get back into the hunt. So I think insect glaive users, you'll find that it'll be a nice flow in your hunts. The other thing you'll notice is that when you recall the insect, it will come back and instantly restore all of its stamina. So you can again go back and send it out in any way you want. So this, I think, is a great way that it balances out. Capcom's done a good job with this. It's a great way to instantly restore that stamina and get your insect back out there and damaging and knocking and breaking parts and whatever else the insect does. Alright, let's go take a look at a monster, guys, and we'll show off some of the attack moves and then give my impressions on the attack stuff. So again, as I mentioned before, the attacks feels a lot nicer. You can see aiming the insect as well. Easy to get your buffs, send them back out. Again, they're very pinpoint, very specific again. Red buffs are in the same spot. Orange buffs in the same spot. White buffs in the same spot. So it's very standard, very similar to World. I like it. Again, here's your bread and butter combo. Oops. Ouch, that hurt. So if you take a look here, regular attack, the light attacks are nice and neat. All 4 hits get in. I'll show you a silk bug, and see, this is the silk bug attack. Now I went right over the monster, and that's my first issue with the silk bug vault, is that it just, the silkbind vault, sorry, it just goes right over the monster. And see there, I can't even aim it. You have to just go straight into more aerial attacks, and it's kind of nice in a way to go into aerial attacks because it counts for the silk bug, so it's very easy for the insect glaive to get this mount. I get it multiple times, it's very easy. Just because you're always in the air because of that silkbind vault. But yeah, so let's take a look. Here's the full combo. I'll show you guys the bread and butter combo. As usual, nice wide sweep and then your final big hit. That wide tornado slash at the end still, or strong heavy tornado slash, sorry, is still very strong. It is definitely the highest DPS I've seen so far still. But aerial attacks have come back and they are buffed in this game, which is what I like about Insect Glaive. It's actually not a bad thing to do aerial attacks now, compared to World when it was absolutely useless. There's also more hits if you notice that. I'm definitely seeing a lot more hits from the aerial attack. It's not just all useless animation now. Alright, so taking a look here. The dodge is still very on point. Nice and easy. Good to dodge. Very smooth. So that's what I like about the mechanics so far. Attack, again, you're seeing the animations and stuff are very short. Very quick. Alright, let's talk about the silk moves now. Let's go over them and see if we can try to make them applicable. But you'll see what I struggle with here. So let's get our buffs back. He moved to a different region. Alright, so there I got the hit in. So you can see there, I got the one hit. This time I missed. I went too high. And this is my first problem with this attack. If it was ground based and it just kept me on the ground and straight at the monster and hit them, that'd be cool. Here again, I didn't get the hit off because it doesn't happen at the end, it happens at the start. Try one more. Nope, we're too far. So the nice thing is that you can go into your aerial attacks from that silkbind. So it's nice to just jump into that silkbind attack and then get back into the action with your regular aerial attacks. But it's kind of a waste of that first hit. Like, I don't know what the point of that first hit is. And I mean, I could also just do my vault. Honestly, I could just do my regular vault and we'd be fine. Alright, so let's heal up a little bit here so we don't die. I like the healing in this game though. It's nice. Back in World when you used to drink a Mega Potion, you'd see the whole bar move up slowly and slowly. But now it's like at least 75% is instant, and then you've got the last 25 that you got to keep drinking for. So I like that. That's a really good quality of life change for healing. Alright, so here again I overshot. It's kind of hard to track. And there is a manual mode to use. You can use the manual mode to track. But again, that's still going to take you up in the air, and it's still a struggle. And in a quick battle, you really want to be using the quick buttons, and the quick button just takes you way too high. So again, the attack starts at the start. We missed it again, but we can do our regular attack. Alright, I just brought him back to the ground here for you guys. We're going to go back into the regular attacks. Bread and butter. Nice 50 damage on that insect glaive attack. And again, another silkbind vault that missed. So overall, the silkbind vault I think needs work. It needs a buff. It needs a fix from Capcom. There's no point in that first attack, in my opinion. It's just impractical. Okay, so let's try the other silkbind vault. Let's get hit, and then we'll do the recall Kinsect. Remember, the Kinsect needs to be sent out, so let's send it out. There we go. Dodge. There we go. And my health goes back up. So really useful there, right? I was able to send my Kinsect out. It's supposed to do damage, and then we just dodged, and it came back. We'll have to get hit here again. So again, you saw it there that we got healed when we did the dodge. Honestly, I don't know if it's entirely necessary there. It might be quick to just roll out, and especially if we have weapon augments later on, you might not even need that. So unless this game doesn't have weapon augments, which might be interesting. Okay, so once again, I have some damage. Let's get really close. Kinsect out. And just recall. And boom, the health goes up. So nice and easy. It's a decent amount of health. It's honestly really helped me in my hunts. I don't need to pull out my max potions as often. So that's about it. That's really my opinion on that. Like, it's, again, it's a very emergency situation kind of a thing. So it's not really something like if you guys have seen Charge Blade's really useful. You can guard, defense, super guard, and get all your files back. That is amazingly useful. The only situation I think is that if there's no augments in this game, then we actually might be the only class that can heal without potions. That might be a game changer then. Plus, you've got the Palico. Like, look at these things right here. The little orbs, these are the Palico healing things. They can heal you as well. Like, so why is there so much emphasis on healing? And it's the same amount as the Kinsect. So really, that Kinsect recall, in my opinion, is pretty useless. Alright, here's a Mizu Dragon just so it appears in the video because Mizu is cool. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. That's pretty much all I have to say about the Insect Glaive at the moment. I'll test it out a little bit more, and if I get updates, I'll post another video. But overall, I feel the mechanics are great. They're refined. It feels really good to be an Insect Glaive user. The only caveat that I have is the silkbind. Just the silkbind moves. If we're able to get more later on, some of my community members have mentioned, again, that there might be some silk arts or hunter styles coming back from GU. If we get that option in this game, it'll be really nice, and I think that would be the perfect way to make this weapon better. We just need some better silk moves. That's really all that Insect Glaive needs. All right, till next time, hunters, stay safe, keep hunting. I hope you guys enjoy the Rise demo. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you found out anything more interesting about the insect glaive. Till next time, guys, Scott Sensei is out.